Welcome to Second Take with Ashwyn Mberi. We have an exciting show for you. We first talk about Senegal's new president who got sworn in. He's 44 years old and he has an interesting home situation which we're going to get into. Zimbabwe showed its gold reserves and it's looking tense, guys. I'm not even going to lie to you. As for Togo, yet another African election deferred. We're going to need a second take.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Now, Senegal's President Bassirou Diomaye Faye became one of Africa's youngest presidents after he left jail, campaigned for less than 2 weeks, and won the election. There was much said about the prospect of his leadership, particularly after Macky Sall took his shot at being a dictator, but fortunately, he had the accuracy of a Manchester United penalty kicker. Faye ran a campaign hinged on sovereignty. Now, in West Africa, when that word is mentioned, its effects are felt in the dark corridors of the Palais Bourbon, which is the French government building. Why? Because Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger recently broke up with France after coming to the conclusion that they had been played by a partner that moved into all their houses without asking how they felt about it. Turns out croissants and cigarettes for breakfast aren't the ingredients of a good roommate. But you know who doesn't seem to have a problem with roommates? Senegal's Diomaye Faye, because he has 2 wives, which naturally was the subject of many varied opinions. Now, before I give my opinion, I would like to categorically express that I do not wish to have more than 1 wife. My marriage will not have a second take. That being said, relationships take a lot of work. Having a wife is a huge commitment. One has to manage themselves very well when they have more than one micromanager. So, is it a path that I would consider for myself? No. But could it be added to the positives column when asking someone to manage an entire nation? You can do your own math. I would like to go home to a safe environment. Zimbabwe's recent revelation of its modest gold reserves serves as a stark reminder that Africa has a long way to go, especially considering the nation's status as a gold-rich country. Amidst the backdrop of Zimbabwe's abundant gold deposits, not to mention the Gold Mafia documentary in which government officials declared that they could launder 10 million USD a week, the announcement of a mere 2.5 tons of gold reserves reflects a missed opportunity and mismanagement by the government. Because going by those numbers, the gold mafia would have cleared the state coffers in 6.5 weeks. This undoubtedly underscores a broader issue of resource mismanagement, plaguing the country. As the leader of a nation endowed with significant natural resources, Mnangagwa faces scrutiny for the apparent inability to harness these resources effectively for the nation's benefit, not just his niece. For example, the UK has 310 tons of gold in reserves. Now, we know that that gold wasn't necessarily acquired through mutually beneficial ways, but it's hard to ignore the fact that Zimbabwe actually has gold mines. This situation resembles a tale of a farmer who possesses fertile land yet struggles to yield a bountiful harvest, while another farmer thrives with less than favorable conditions. Mnangagwa's leadership and governance, particularly in matters concerning Zimbabwe's economic prosperity, face increasing scrutiny amidst the backdrop of this gold reserve revelation, of course. But he calls the criticism rumors. Well, rumor has it that Zimbabwe used to be known as the breadbasket of Africa, but now has the highest inflation rate in the world and less gold reserves than your favorite hip-hop group. Don't tell anyone I told you. Let's move over to Togo, where four opposition parties and a civil society group have orchestrated a call for mass protests because of delayed parliamentary and regional elections. The source of their discontent? A constitutional reform approved by Parliament, which they see as a veiled attempt to prolong President Nasingbe's rule. Now, Nasingbe has held power since 2005 after inheriting it from his father, who ruled for 38 years. So it's safe to say he believes that Togo is a family business and he wants to keep it that way. The presidency postponed the parliamentary elections without clear rescheduling. So, duh. But Bridget Kafui Ajamagbo Johnson, a prominent opposition figure, is not having it, decrying this as a power grab. Her words do echo the sentiments of many disillusioned citizens. By the way, disillusionment is bound to happen when one entity has wielded power oppressively for decades. Just ask P. Diddy fanbase. So, Namibia goes to elections this year. The candidates are starting to pop up and establish themselves, and I'll give you my full second take on their progress thus far. And I'll tell you next week about it. But let's first circle back to Michelina Vatis's talking about Namibia's political landscape in perspective.
Political parties creating more awareness and campaigning aggressively? I don't see that. Yes, well, SWAPO recently or last year, towards the end of the year, we saw that they were a bit active. They were all over the country, having meetings, creating awarenesses. And I think they successfully tried to create as much as awareness before the year that the elections are actually taking place. I don't know when the other political parties are coming on board, but I think they're still they still have issues that they want to iron out, and I don't think that is the time now that they should focus on those issues, because now it's do or die. They need to step up the game and come to the party and have the election plans in place and aggressively start with their campaigns, just not in Windhoek, but nationwide, and to the especially, for example, to the political parties that have a target area where they really firstly want to address issues that have been delayed for a long time. I think they need to go to those towns, those areas, and start their election campaigns aggressively. The Michael Amushelelo, the activist, and is also part of NEF, mentioned that this year they will not allow the elections to be rigged. But I think they should also not just talk, but also have action and I think most parties should now just concern, or they should have concern about the elections and first spark the concerns that they have addressing concerns relating to the nation. So I think the NFAF, PDM, all those parties, I don't see it in the limelight. Of course, yes, I saw the SWAPO rallies, and that has been a success. I think one of the stadiums in the north were full, and that just shows that it was a success. So most political parties should now, I just want to tell you guys, now you need to come to the party. You need to aggressively and make sure that you are seen, make sure that your political party logos or your mottos and your visions and missions are known, just not in the center of the country, but also to the smallest town that matters.
What are your thoughts on Jogom Panda primarily campaigning at the north with regards to his billboards, LPM primarily campaigning in the south? Do you feel that individuals and parties like this should reach out to demographics that they don't already have supporting?
Yes, of course, because if I know I am good in a certain area, or if I'm confident that I have most votes in certain areas, for example, Job Amopanda having billboards in the north, he knows and he's confident that that part of the country will support him in every way possible. LPM, of course, in the south, but I think they should focus, political parties should this year change the dynamics a bit and go to other towns of the country that they do not have support, or that they feel like they do not have support. Because of course, as a political party, if LPM of course knows that the South will vote for them in every way possible, but they need to focus on other areas, for example, the North, the West, just spread and make sure that your political party is known in areas that is not usually known. That way, you don't have anything to lose. You're just putting in more effort, and you have a chance of gaining more votes for the elections.
How do you feel about voter apathy? Do you think that the youth are going to be involved in this election, considering that millennials will be the majority of people to vote? Or is this just another election where the youth don't feel the need to participate?
I think this is just another year that the youth does not see the need to participate, because so many things are said on social media, and like it or not, the recent headlines of just the top headlines of the things that have been happening in the country are not really all rainbows and candy floss. So that already is a disadvantage for the youth to come to the party and vote. But I encourage them to, because it does not help the youth complaining and just relying on social media and seeing what the political parties are doing. But if you want to see a change, you need to start by voting, because I know it won't have an effect now, but small change still matters. So the youth should come and they should start voting, stop complaining, and also be available in the limelight. If you want to, of course, yes, kudos to the youth already that's doing so much and putting in so much effort in becoming activists, becoming, standing for what's right, trying to fix the wrongs, in just being politically active. That is kudos to you, but we need the majority of the youth to come out from their social media platforms and actually vote. That's the only way that we will see change. It doesn't help us complaining but not doing something about it. And I think the youth has the potential to actually change if we stand together.
Attention kids, we have some exciting news for you. We are back, and this year we are planning on going big. So listen up. If you are in grade 3, grade 2, grade 1 or pre-primary, we are bringing your free school workbooks to you soon. This is all you need to know about where you can find your books. Books will be available for free in Republican street sale newspapers and all Namibian Sun newspapers. And for all pre-primary kids out there, your books will be delivered to your school in all 14 regions of Namibia. And there's more. Pre-primary books will also be printed in 9 different languages. Check out when your book will be available from the schedule right here. That's not all. Our free online school is there to help you along the way with video lessons and more books to download. You can also follow along on NTV every Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 11:30 for your daily online school lesson. We thank all our sponsors who are helping to build a brighter future for Namibia. Contact us at info@acdtrust.com and follow us on Instagram.
Take a load off and tune into another episode of Brave Namibia, when we take a look at both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians sharing their stories. Brave Namibia is broadcasted on NTV Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. and oneup2.com, and broadcasted on the following Facebook platforms on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Republican, Algemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, and all Namibia Media Holdings pages. For more information, contact the Brave team at brave@synergy.com.na. Brave Namibia, for the ordinary and extraordinary Namibians.
Let us get straight into the global take. McDonald's will buy back all of its Israeli restaurants after sales suffered from a boycott of the brand. The fast food giant was criticized after its Israeli franchise gave away thousands of free meals to Israeli soldiers. McDonald's said it had reached a deal with the franchise to return 225 outlets. Widespread protests affected sales in the Middle East, Indonesia, and France. So yes, turns out people are not keen on free meals being given to people restricting food aid to children. Children, by the way, that have been dying by the thousands. I find boycotting quite interesting, especially when it's effective, because I cannot picture the same happening here in Africa. Now, this is not because we don't have reasons to boycott brands that behave like they don't need their consumers, but because what we love to eat is mostly found around us. Now, how do we get big corporations to take us seriously when our favorite food is pap? All suggestions are welcome. TikTok of the week after the break.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
So, Africans have many things in common. One of these things being our love for dance. But what if dance doesn't love you back?
Hi, my name is Ashwyn Mberi, and I am an African that can't dance. Growing up as an African that couldn't dance was difficult. You see, people assume that because I'm West African, that I know how to move my body. No. Damn it! Every new dance trend on TikTok that comes out, I try to copy. I fail every time. Oh, I chased after the beat. I tried to catch it. It was just faster. How are you an African that can't dance? How are you West African? You can't dance. You can't move your hips. You can't shuffle. I didn't choose to be like this. I didn't choose this.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhh.com.na.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in. Poor sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Vindo Kahan.
Hy sê wie is er aan neertrek en hy bal het my grond gevat. Ja, hy het grond gevat en is
But just enough next.
Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love it. I love it. So then
Kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
So that's been our second take. As you know, South Africa is going to elections in May, and I think it's time for us to dig deep and figure out what's going on with the candidates after they figure it out. Because right now, no one knows whether Zuma is actually going to be on the ballot or not. But aside from South Africa, Namibia is also going to elections, and candidates are starting to pop up, which is, good to see. I mean, last year you saw some candidates with billboards going one direction of the country, yet there's 3 other directions in the country. So it's going to be good to see what our options are on the table. For now, take a break. We'll see each other in a week.